So this is our studio set for Swashbuckle.
Yeah, it's cool.
CBeebies. Yeah, it's pretty big. This is the biggest studio in Media City.
Okay.
Called HQ1. So they've done stuff like The Voice in here, Dragon's Den.
Oh, this is The Voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were here last year as well. And for a children's set, it's pretty epic, really.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That is a 3-story kind of soft play centre thing, trying to find that balance between soft play centre and themed shipwreck, so that kids have, as they watch it, they've got some, identifiable, that's like the thing down the road that we go to when it rains and when mum needs a rest. Make it look fantastic for
And the
TV.
kids are going to be wide when they come in here, right? They're pumped.
Now that we're doing the second series and they know what it is, they come in and they can't believe that they're here, really. So they know all the catchphrases, they know when to cheer, which is massively helpful. It's good fun.
That's really cool. So what other series have you worked on?
I've worked on Mr. Bloom's Nursery. That was my show for CBeebies. So I did 3 series of that, and it's gone on to do another couple of series since, but that's been really good fun to kind of set that up and see how that's flown. That was really good. I did the CBeebies Christmas production last year, doing that again this year. So they keep me busy.
So you're a series producer, right? So what does that mean?
As a series producer, I'm the most senior kind of person on the team full time. So I'll have an exec producer, but they'll oversee more than one program. So
Okay.
I'm on this kind of all the time. I've been here from the moment it was commissioned through all the pre-production period as we've planned it. I'm here in the studio all the time.
Wow.
I'm ultimately responsible for the budget and the editorial of it all, and I'll see it all the way through until the post-production. We've edited it and we've delivered it. So the buck stops with me, really. We've got over 100 kids involved in this series. It's up to me to personally kind of sign all their licenses so that legally we can use them. If there's any health and safety stuff, it kind of stops
Wow.
with me. I have to be across everything.
And how many professionals have you got working here on a program like this?
I think on this team we've got, I think it's just over 50 for a 3-week period where we're knocking out 2 shows a day, which is a heck of a schedule, really, especially in a set this size, really. But I'm constantly trying to ride that, not got a huge budget because we're a preschool program, but trying to get the most out of it. And so that's a tough kind of tension to manage all the time.
Oh, get rid of these hiccups! I have just had the most brilliant idea! What is it? Well, since it was my breakfast that gave you the hiccups in the first place, maybe my lunch will take it away again!
So on your first mark, you're saying, I've had a brilliant idea.
Yeah. Brilliant idea, yeah.
You can run on since it was my breakfast that gave you the hiccups in the first place, but then we need to just stop you for maybe my lunch will make them go away.
19, and then pick up with 20.
So why children's TV?
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. It's really weird for me. Coming out of university, I didn't think of doing anything but children's. I'd done loads of youth work, children's work when I was young, and it just felt like the natural fit. I kind of didn't really question it. So I suppose I liked the fact that when I was young, I loved children's TV. I think we can all remember something that we watched when we were young that's really stuck with us. And so for me, there's a real attraction to be making stuff now that kids are still going to be remembering in 30 years' time. And I think I really enjoy the fact that everything you do can be both educational and entertaining. You'll never do something that is just one or the other. So I actually think it's really challenging to do children's programs. Most people, or a lot of people, can use it as the way into the industry.
Right.
But I think there's a real specialism, there's a real, expertise that you can build up there. So that's why I like it.
So, you're a committed Christian. How does your faith inform you in all of this?
I suppose as a series producer, I want my faith to inform how I kind of manage the team, how I run the team, the kind of vibe that we have as we do it. I've worked on loads of shows myself where the producer or the series producer is just a stress ball, and it's not a pleasant place to work.
Because there must be a lot of ego flying around and stuff like this, right? Because it is media, isn't it? So, you have us guys, you have this sort of image of media being quite kind of ego and stuff, and presenter personalities and
Yeah, there's big
challenge,
personalities flying around. Yeah, it can be, absolutely. And it's not just people kind of on screen, but, you know, off screen people will have their kind of egos or their experience that they bring to it all, really. But yeah, I guess the kind of where I really want my faith to kind of rubber hit the road is when people are working on the team and they feel something different about how it's being run, or they feel something different about the culture or the vibe in the studio. And I think so last series on Swashbuckle, it was a family feel that a lot of people were saying they'd never experienced before in TV. And I'm all about that, kind of love that. And if I can have any opportunity to say to people, well, you know, I don't think that's a coincidence that we have that. I'm praying hard for the show. You know, I'm walking around the studio every day having a little pray, and and deliberately trying to bring a kind of a lightness and an energy to it. Then I hope that's a bit of a light to them, really.
But it better not be fizzy seaweed slops.
No, Captain, this is completely different. This is sloppy seaweed fizz.
And Joseph, on that point, make sure you've got it after the words fizz. You have